down some of the heroes, which can cause trouble for these dragons. But the spread is looking pretty deadly. A Grand Warden to back these guys up, and they're going to be going straight for the Town Hall very shortly, Carbon.
Yeah, and he needs to get an 81% two-star here to cement the victory for Tribe Gaming. The Dragons are charging their way straight into the Town Hall. A bunch of air skellies are popping up. Pops the Grand Warden ability super early here. And let's see, what does he have? He has a few bats that were actually dropped in front. The Town Hall goes down, and he avoids... Oh, I don't know if he avoided the Gigabyte. Just in time, but here comes the bats over at 3 o'clock. He drops the freeze finally on the Wiz Tower. He's got 55%, but he's going to have the bats. He needs to keep this Wizard Tower. He does keep it frozen. He's moving his way through. Can he get to 81 here?
Well, I don't know. There are quite a few ground expos set up on defense, so Maxi doesn't have to worry too much about those. He's trying to use those bats to protect the dragon from the top side. Those single target Inferno Towers are burning up his attackers, and unfortunately for him, the Grand Warden has been finished off. So many clumped up dragons along the interior of the base are getting burnt up now, but remember, he only has to get to that 81% to overcome the alternate attacks overall destruction average. I think he's just about getting ready to do it, Carbon.
Yeah, he's getting closer. It's a few dragons on the outside. It looks like he's gonna just be able to get the percentage, and that's all. There's the 81. There is the 82, and he passes the mark right there. It wasn't the prettiest. There was a ton of air skellies. I think Ass was ready for an air attack, a Lalo, but we saw Eve Maxi getting what he needed done, and he knew exactly the percentage. You definitely know all these players playing in the qualifiers know the percent that they need. Beautiful job right there for Tribe Gaming.
That was
victorious.
Incredibly close ending right there. 87% two-star. He only needed the 81, but just managed to close it out, Eve Maxi. We all got a little bit nervous towards the end just there, but that was an incredible way to kick off the competition, wasn't it, Woody?
What a finish. Tribe Gaming coming in strong with those early few attacks, slowing down at the end just as alternate attacks was able to pick up pace again, but Tribe Gaming emerging with just a little bit of an overall percentage lead over alternate attacks. They will be moving on. Alternate attacks is not eliminated, though. This is a double elim round, so they'll be going to the bottom of the bracket, but congratulations to Tribe Gaming picking up the win in this first round of combat.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Tribe Gaming moving forward, and alternate attacks unfortunately going into the losers bracket, but they still have a chance to make it back. So what an amazing way to start off the competition. And to break down the attacks even further, I'm going to throw you over to Judo.
Thank you so much, Banks. You said it yourself at the very start. We were going to have one fantastic one. I wanted to break down the attack by Nick. That started it all off. He uses his hero dive over to the right-hand side of the base. I will come back to that. But Carbon himself said about this attack strategy, the Zap Lava Loon. So in the center of the base, the rework to the lightning spell means you can take 7 of them onto the Eagle Artillery, the Clan Castle, take them out alongside the Earthquake spell, and Nick does a beautiful job with that. Sometimes you can actually get damage onto the Queen as well, but the most important thing is taking out them structures and creating pathing. Once the Clan Castle is down, the troops cannot defend. So if we move across to the hero dive area, Nick is sending in his 3 heroes to take out value in that of the Scattershot, the Town Hall, but also the pathing. And if we extend it to the the lightning spell, in the center, you can see now how the lava loon will just come around the base. It looks fantastic in terms of taking out damage and setting up that pathing. So Nick really taking his time, allowing the Queen in towards that Town Hall. You want to assure that the phase is going to get what you want it to before moving on to the next job. But here comes the Lalo, the big part at the end. That's what you need to do with the lightning spells. The Lava Loon then needs to come in from separate angles, and the reason for that is to condense their fire to the Scattershot. Now also, let's take a look at the Headhunter troop, which Nick was able to sneak in, take down the Archer Queen as well, alongside the Lava Pups. Such a beautiful addition. And the other thing I really liked is that although the sweeper was up, Nick also realized that he could freeze the sweeper, the scatter shot, and the wizard tower. Always try and get that good value, guys. Nick was able to do that across the board with the start, with the main phase, and even to the end. We had them couple of balloons waiting to tank the wizard tower, as Carbon mentioned. Otherwise, your main pack of balloons coming through could be susceptible to that splash. What an incredible war, and we are going right into another one. It is Aphelion Esports versus Resistance.
Can you introduce yourself and your team?
Yes, so my name is Roars War, and I compete with Aphelion Esports, and guys, we're excited to do so.
So what's your goal this month for the live qualifier finals?
My goal this month for the live qualifier finals is to most definitely take first place and to be at the World Championship at the end of this year.
And how did you prepare for this event?
We did a lot of base testing, as I believe defense is key to success, but more importantly, mastering the new meta has been a challenge. And, we're all here at the same place, so we'll see how this goes.
Do you think you have what it takes to win this qualifier?
I think we have the pieces. It's just a matter of putting them together in the moments.
And what is the atmosphere with your team like at the moment?
Well, I mean, it's been almost 6 months since we competed together, and just keeping the team together and motivated and excited has been a challenge, but we're definitely here together and competing for the same goal.
Well, I think that you guys definitely have a shot, and it's going to be a really interesting first qualifier for the finals. So really good luck to you and your team, and we look forward to seeing you on Friday.
Absolutely. Back at you guys.
So can you please introduce yourself and your team?
Hey, my name's Panadol and I'm from the Resistance team.
So what is your goal in this month's live qualifier finals?
I think our goal is just to maybe make it to day 3 of the tournament. I think getting to the top 50% of the group would be a pretty good achievement.
Who do you think is the favourite to win the tournament?
I think there's probably a couple favourites in there. INTZ, obviously, with their performance in every cup and Poland last year, and obviously alternate attacks, just with their lineup and just being able to pretty much demolish every opposition they have. They're definitely going to be the top 2 teams in there.
And how did you prepare for this event?
To be honest, I think preparation was definitely a bit of a spatter in the works with the update that happened a couple of days ago. So we've obviously been having to update our bases and also learn new metas. So
much Panadol for joining me, and good luck in the live qualifiers. I'm sure you guys will be great.
Thanks, Benny. Appreciate it.
What a spectacular performance once again from Tribe Gaming, holding their nerve and closing out the first win of the weekend. But now we're on to our second match of the day, and Carbon, who's looking dangerous from Aphelion Esports.
Yeah, we have a lot of great players from Aphelion Esports, but the person who you did speak to, which was Roars War, he does make a lot of content over on YouTube as well, and I believe he's going to be a person to keep an eye on, and I know they've been testing a lot of bases, so I'm going to be excited to see what he can come in with.
And Woody, what about Resistance?
Resistance is looking really strong. I might have to disagree with Carbon on that last one, though. I think Joker or JC are more expected among their own teammates to be the stars on that Aphelion Esports squad. But Resistance is certainly no underdog by any stretch of the imagination. You heard it straight from Panadol there that they practice. That is their strategy for making it to the top here. It's their first time on the big stage. But I think that I would say that either Marty or maybe TK would be the guys to look for most from their squad. They're highly expected to be able to be the guys that get that triple down. So keep an eye out for both, for TK from Resistance.
Well, yeah, it's looking strong, and we're going to go straight back into the action because we have Aphelion Esports taking on Resistance.
Yep. And we have Benji for Resistance coming in using those lightnings that we saw in the very first war as well. And I'm telling you, the lightning spell is back, and that might be one of the most common attack strategies that we're going to be seeing here today. and we've got the king coming down. Remember, if you take out that clan castle, you don't need to bring that poison spell, especially if you're coming with that Lalo, because nothing will come out to defend unless you find a bunch of air skellies, which maybe you might see nowadays being used a lot more. But that king running up around, the queen's gonna try to loop her way in, maybe grab the enemy queen, but the enemy queen just has a little sliver of health right there. One shot, she should go down.
Gets the lock, and Benji will pop her down. Now, keep an eye on Benji's heroes. He actually doesn't have them maxed out. It's a level 73 Archer Queen and a level 70 Barbarian King. Not going to make a huge difference in this attack so far. It looks like they will be able to accomplish their early goals that they were set for in the bottom and right side corners of this attack. But he's moving in now to the second stage. He's still got a couple of free spells and a few haste spells to keep these balloons fast and on track. 2 headhunters in tow, but it looks like he won't need them to take down the enemy heroes. Just has to back up in case.
Look at that Grand Warden. He's on a ground mode right now. He's pulls some ground skeletons, pops that one Eternal Tome to protect the blimp to make its way all the way to this town hall here. Will it get there? It looks like it is. The balloons are flying around. The balloons trying to take this town down with the dragon, but the Grand Warden did get picked off right there because he was on ground. So he went down really fast. Benji did end up getting this 2-star, but it looks like there's just gonna be a little bit too much left on the backside of the space.
Yeah, this is a really highly spread out base. It's going to be tricky to finish off more than a few more structures here. We actually polled our friends over on Twitch, and they came in 2/3 of the response. This team that would take the win here, so they're considered to be on top. Now, Aphelion knows that they might be seen as underdogs, but with this successful defense right off the bat, I think that that's going to sway the odds a little bit more in their favor. 75% damage so far with this 2-star attack, not above the average of what we saw from our last two teams, but certainly enough to keep resistance in contention.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're also seeing that Headhunter was not maxed out, so using just the level 1 right there, and Benji's going to come away with a 78% 2-star for resistance to kick off this war, which means Aphelion knows where they're going to be standing here. They're going to look to try to come in, but that lightning spell is being used more and more now in the new meta.
Yeah, would you say it's overpowered? I don't know. It seems so popular that it's hard to underestimate its capability.
Yeah, I believe it's just really hard to gotta switch up your bases because they spent so long building their bases and they had such a short amount of time to kind of make their changes like the players have mentioned. So maybe they were able to move a few things around, but they're still kind of learning these metas, learning what's the value if you put certain troops like the heroes next to the clan castle or even the Eagle artillery right there. But we're seeing now Joker coming in for Aphelion Esports, and we're seeing the next attack with the Super Witches, Woody.
Here they come. Super Witches got a 3-star in the previous war. Can they do it again? Only brought 4 of them this time, though, not the 5 that you sometimes see with these super heavy Super Witch attacks. We're going to be sending in troops along the top corner and the top left side to start off with. Remember, it's a Grand Warden walk is what we call this starting strategy here for Joker. You don't see it quite as often as the Queen walk, but it's at the Clash of Clans World Championship where these strategies first get tested and used at the top levels of play. Nice job there to the Barbarian King, dodging that Inferno Tower over on the left side corner. That'll be a nice boost for him. Oh, even though he loses some of his Barbarians to that Giant Ball.
Yeah, and it looks like all these witches and the big boys are going to move their way straight into this town hall. Sweepers pushing the balloons back, which we're testing for seeking air mines. And here comes the Hogs out of the siege barracks. But look at what we have here. We have a Lava Hound and an Inferno Dragon, which is going to be defending, which is going to stall up this Royal Champion super quick. And she's not going to be able to get as much value. That Eagle Artillery is going to be staying up on the bottom side. Oh, how unfortunate. He did drop that way too quick. Wow.
Inferno Dragon burns up that Royal Champion, and that is why it's so popular. Even though it's just come out into the game, it's a really great defensive troop to put into your clan castle here. This Archer Queen's having a lot of trouble getting burnt up by Infernos as well. Forces out the ability for her, and Joker is running into a huge wall of resistance on the backside of this base. Can't seem to make his way past this single target Inferno here at the bottom, and that's going to be just about the end of his attack. If you thought that the defenses for Aphelion Esport were looking good, Resistance has got some great base design as well. It's all about that practice, getting just defense setup. Offense definitely taking the game so far.
We heard it in the especially on offense, the best way to use these new troops, the Super Witches, the Inferno Dragon, and especially that Head Hunter. And you can use it in all these different scenarios, but man, Banks, they're using it in some solid defenses so far.
They are indeed a 62% 2-star for Aphelion Esports. So Resistance just nudge ahead by that 16% difference. It could mean a lot towards the end of this particular war, but who knows really what's going to happen with this? Like you said, it's so new since the update that people are still learning the new meta. They're sort of analyzing their bases and how to change it. And yeah, like you said as well, Woody, earlier on, that the use of the Headhunter is just so OP right now. No one really knows how to go against it or how to properly use it. How do you guys feel that the new Headhunter is going to be used in these upcoming attacks?
To knock down heroes, of course, that's the best use, but you definitely want to incorporate her into an army where you have lots of troops that don't target onto enemy heroes. If you have things like balloons or miners or rather balloons or hog riders that go straight for enemy defenses, you want to have something that can target onto those heroes as well. That's a good role for the Headhunter to fill.
Yeah, the Headhunters are a great use. You can pretty much use it almost any attack nowadays, but we're looking at Atomic T coming in with the hybrid. It's more emphasis on the minor portion. 19 of them still has that siege barracks to use. Out comes some Headhunters there, and oh, wait a second, the Queen! Wow!
No.
Her ability went off, and the Headhunters took her down super quick, and now they move off of the healers, go straight to the enemy king there. But oh, how unfortunate.
Oh, that is the end of the attack right there, Carbon. You cannot lose that early, especially when you've committed so many healers to trying to keep her up. Atomic T has been devastated by these defenses, and he's going to be struggling just to get that 2-star over here on the left side corner. The miners are going in, and they will be able to target onto that Town Hall shortly thereafter, but this overall damage, don't expect it to be above average by any means. The Resistance has met up against a massive defensive win here by Isto. Aphelion Esports' defenses are very difficult to crack, and it's not going to come from this attack.
Oh, this Town Hall is still standing here. Let's see, it finally goes down, does end up getting the 2-star, but how unfortunate that Queen going down super early to the Headhunters in that clan castle. And this is going to be a very low percentage 2-star here, trying to get into this mid-60s. But oh, how unfortunate, Woody.
Yeah, finding giant bombs all around. Atomic T has just run out of luck with this first attack. Nice job at the early stages of planning, but the execution just didn't seem to go in his favor at any turning point. He does get 64%, so that's going to bring the average destruction for Resistance down a bit closer to the range where Aphelion is currently at. So giving a little bit of breathing room to Aphelion thanks to their defensive win here, but not going to be able to pull it off this time. Atomic T has been rebuffed.
Yeah, unfortunately right there, it's going to be the lower percent 2-star. But remember, it's going to come down to the stars here. So whoever is going to get that first 3-star or has the triple advantage will be advancing. So as long as your defenses are holding on each side here, just that one triple can make all the difference, Woody.
Certainly can, but we're going back to the drawing board now. It's going to be time for Aphelion to return fire and see if they can be the first team to get that 3-star up on the board. Stars are the determinant factor here. If you get the lead there, that's how you're going to knock down a win. Those 3-stars don't come easy, though. As we saw in the first war between Tribe and alternate attacks, it's really tricky to pull it off, and especially with a brand new meta game to have to try to figure out. But the practice has really been paying off for those first couple of clans, and we'll soon see which player from Aphelion Esports has got the magic solution to get that first 3-star.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have to see Aphelion Esports. They're going to be coming in with the very next attack. Be curious to see if we see any Inferno Dragons on the offensive side. And we're going to see more Super Witches coming in for Aphelion Esports. 4 of them to be exact. And let's see, he's going to come in with a little bit of a warden walk to kind of set that funnel. And then he's going to have a siege barracks, which we've been seeing a lot of hog riders coming out of the siege barracks. If you time it right, the hogs with the royal champion can do some nice work. But we saw problems if the defending clan castle is not pulled by that charge in. It can definitely slow it down or even completely stop the attack in its tracks.
Olm is your attacker now for Aphelion Esports. He was bragging before the match began, saying that he can 3-star bases blindfolded. So that really goes to show his confidence level in this hit. He plans really well and executes it to the best of his ability, using super witches to bolster this hit over on the left side corner, going straight for the town hall early on. The key targets that you got to worry about on the backside, though, are definitely going to be those heroes. He's got a centralized eagle, so it should go down relatively early in this attack as soon as Olm can crash through this outer wall. He's going to pull that CC out, but he's got a lot of troops to help deal with that Lava Hound in the center. The Lava Hound doesn't deal a whole lot of damage on its own, but because it has so many hit points, it can really stall out these attackers and give the defenses enough time to get them down. It looks like with that poison spell right on top of those troops, though, I think Olm has got a good inroad into this base, Carbon.
Yeah, it's looking really solid here with the Queen moving into the core of this base. With the Grand Warden, with those Super Witches going down, that is a multi-target Inferno on the backside. Pops that Queen ability. But the Royal Champion, she did go up, and the Hogs kind of avoided the top side there with the Tesla farm down south of a single target Inferno. He lost a lot of steam into the core of that base there. Unfortunate with the Hogs kind of veering off from the bottom side and not joining up and going towards with that Royal Champion. Some of the Witches on the outside with those big boys. They're going to try to get and rack up more percentage, but with that single, it's going to be really difficult, and no healers. Oh, the healers do transfer back down south. But at this point, just looking to add up those percentage points.
Yeah, that one Super Witch wandering to the top side pulled the healers off of her, but she didn't have any tanking out in front to protect her from that scatter shot. Got taken down, and even though the healers are going to swap back to the original Super Witches down in the bottom side corner, I don't think it's going to be enough firepower to finish off the rest of this base. 39 seconds left and still a quarter of the base untouched. Olm is finally making his way over here onto this right side corner, dealing as much damage as he can. Without any 3-stars this war so far, it is a lead for resistance by 10% on that overall damage. So Olm is doing his best to catch up now, and he'll need a little bit more. I think he's actually past the point now where Aphelion will pull ahead in the overall damage with this 86% that he's got.
Yeah, looks like this Grand Warden was onto the King. He stepped up, and now he's getting hit by that King right there. And it looks like it's just going to wrap up right with that 86% 2-star for Aphelion Esports. Going to put them in the lead on percentage. It's all tied up on stars. I mean, Banks, it's anyone's game at this point.
It really is still anyone's game. 86% 2-stars is slightly going to nudge Aphelion Esports into the lead. So we are looking at a percentage race right now, as long as no one gets any of those 3 stars. So Woody, what do you think of that last attack?
I think it went pretty well. You know, it was one of the highest percentage hits that we've seen so far this war, but I'm still holding out hope for that 3-star, and I think that TK is going to be the guy that pulls it off. Everyone on his team, including himself, said that he has got the highest 3-star hit rate of anyone on that squad. So keep an eye out for them. Aphelion Esports got a good solid hit right there, but Resistance is coming back with a vengeance now. Trento is going to be the next attacker from their team.
Yeah, Trento for Resistance, looking to use that Valkyrie on the outside to help take down this gold storage with that wizard behind. Down is going to go help set up that funnel. And it does have 2 super wall breakers to help make this charge into the base with the Queen. He's going to come in with the hybrid. And typically, let's see, this Queen's going to try to charge in right into this cannon archer tower. And then second break into the scatter, or that's the scatter shot there, because then she'll be able to grab the enemy Queen, the clan castle, the eagle artillery. There's a ton of value right into there. And then between the Queen and the King, you would love to send your hybrid. But look at this. The expos are on her. Has to pop that ability, uses the free spell. Uh-oh, that is going to back. I don't know if it's going to cause a lot of problems here if this Queen can stay up through the enemy Queen and that CC there.
Yeah, this is going to be a real tricky play for Trento to pull off, having already used that Queen ability to keep her alive early on. Didn't make use of those rage spells quite as early